pitch. Swung on and missed a perfect game.
High fly ball into right field. She is gone. In a year that has been so improbable, the impossible has happened. Fernando Valenzuela has pitched a no-hitter. Mikey Kershaw pitches a no-hitter. It is gone. It is a walk-off home run for Justin Turner. It's over. 1-0. A walk-off home run. This is way back. Walk 'em off. Chris Taylor.
Buy me some peanuts and crackers, Jack. I don't care if I never get back that. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and crackers, Jack. I don't care if I
Sandy into his windup. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed a perfect game.
High fly ball into right field. She is gone. In a year that has been so improbable, the impossible has happened. Fernando Valenzuela has pitched a no-hitter. Mikey Kershaw pitches a no-hitter. It is gone. It is a walk-off home run for Justin Turner. It's over. 1-0. A walk-off home run. This is way back. Walk 'em off. Chris Taylor.
buy me some peanuts and crackers, Jack. I don't care if I never get
Bobby Miller struggles against the Angels. The Dodgers get blown out, but a successful road trip nonetheless. And we've got a big update on Yoshinobu Yamamoto. That's coming up next on the Dodgers Nation postgame show.
Another payoff. Benny got him with a slider. Mikey Kershaw. It's Teoscar Hernandez. Mookie mashed. It's a grand slam. 83 showstopper and game ender.
What is up, Dodgers Nation, and welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. Thanks for joining us after the Dodgers lose the second game of a two-game series against the Angels in Anaheim, and it was ugly. The Dodgers lose by a final score of 10-1. They fall to 84-56 on the season, but still have the best record in baseball. Half game up on the Philadelphia Phillies. Their lead in the division is still pretty sizable, up 5 games on the San Diego Padres. The Padres at the moment are tied at home 5-5 with the Detroit Tigers. So I think I speak for everyone in Dodgerland. Let's go Tigers. Hopefully they can win this one. But lots to unpack on this one. The story tonight, Bobby Miller. It was not Bobby's world. It wasn't Miller time in Anaheim. Bobby Miller struggled right out of the gates before he even recorded an out in tonight's ball game. He's already down 5-0. It was not a pretty start from Bobby Miller, who had really trended in the right direction. He was putting together stronger starts, coming off a start where he really said to me that that was the best that he had felt this whole entire season, his last start against the Baltimore Orioles. You're hoping that Bobby Miller could build on that. Unfortunately, that was not the case. It was not a good night for Bobby Miller. But let me know down below in the comment section where you're representing Dodgers Nation from. What is your biggest takeaway from tonight's loss? And we got a big update on Yoshinobu Yamamoto. We're going to get in on that. But, yeah, what do you make of Bobby Miller? I mean, it's a little frustrating when you look at the talent level. Of course, the fastball, you see the velocity on it. Tonight, the velo on the fastball, he averaged 98.3 miles per hour. He hit a high of 99.6 on it. But it was his third most used offering type behind the changeup and the curveball. The changeups and the curveball were really good, but they pounded the fastball, pounded that fastball tonight. All 3 of those home runs, all the home runs he gave up tonight were via that fastball, 2 via the four seam and 1 via the sinker. In his line tonight as a whole, Bobby Miller goes 5 innings, gives up 7 runs on 5 hits, did have 8 strikeouts. He had those 3 walks that were costly through 85 pitches, 52 for strikes. His ERA on the season at 7.79. And at the very least, you got to give him credit for Going 5 innings. And look, you got a really tough stretch coming up for this Dodgers team. You're playing tons of baseball. You got a stretch. You're playing 16 games in 17 days. You got the Guardians, you got the Cubs, you got the Braves. So at the very least, you head into that series against the Guardians with a fresh and rested bullpen, and Bobby Miller was able to eat some innings tonight. But I do think that his stock, as far as his prospect that was already low to begin with, as far as the chances that he was going to make this postseason roster, they were already low to begin with, but they definitely take a hit with the start like tonight. There was stuff to like. We'll talk about that, but for the most part, it was definitely a step back for Bobby Miller. But let me know down below in the comments section, what do you see for Bobby Miller for the rest of the season? We got Yamamoto on Tuesday. That's from Daniel Clark. Yeah, I'll get a little comment of the show. We'll get in on that for sure. Jeremy H. would have been nice for Ohtani to go off against his former team, but nah. Look, tonight they really had a chance to at least somewhat make this interesting. And look, anytime you have Shohei Ohtani in your lineup, you have a chance to make things interesting. And you did take out Mookie Betts, and you did make some changes in this one when you had the substitutions that Doc decided to make. And look, he kind of waved the white flag, similar to what we saw in Sunday's loss, where Justin Robleski came in and ate some innings. And there you see the bottom of the 6th inning where Kike, he goes in for Freddie Freeman at first base. But even before that, you saw some early substitutions as well. So, look, I mean, it happens. It happens, and I think for me, when you look at this team and kind of the success they've had, they've still won of 12 of their last 16 games. That, yeah, you're hoping to sweep this Angels team, and yet Griffin Canning really looking the best he's ever looked, going deep into this one, giving up just 1 run. So, yeah, I mean, it wasn't a pretty night. But you mentioned Shohei Ohtani, and it would be nice to see him go off. He did have the triple yesterday. He did strike the fear into Ron Washington, who intentionally walked him to get to Mookie Betts, who hit the 3-run shot. But the opportunity tonight for the Dodgers came there in the top of the 7th inning, trailing 7-0. Gavin Lux gets a 1-out single. Tommy Edman draws a 1-out walk. The Dodgers have runners on first and second with Max Muncy at the plate, and he strikes out on a changeup low and away for the 2nd out. That brings up Andy Pages, and Andy Pages on the 0-1. He singled to left to score Gavin Lux to give the Dodgers their first run of the night. So, some life. The Dodgers are on the board. Yes, it's late in the game at 7-1. And then you have Austin Barnes at the plate with runners on second and third, and Shohei Ohtani on deck. And you would really love to give Shohei Ohtani the ability, the opportunity to put a good swing on one, and who knows? That grand slam there makes it a 2-run game, and you're only in the 7th inning. You still got 7 outs to work with. So I'm not saying it's a guaranteed grand slam or anything, but that really was the last chance the Dodgers had to at least make this one interesting. They get 1 run on 2 hits in this one. Andy Paez got an opportunity to play tonight, so good to see him have a solid at-bat. But this game was lost early on. But let me get your takes on Bobby Miller. We're going to break down his outing. We got Bobby has potential, just not this year. He will figure it out and be better next year, guaranteed. That is from Brandon over on YouTube. Alex Aragia says, no chance in making the postseason lineup with that performance. No improvement on Bobby Miller. We can't have that. We are going to deep into the season already, and you can't have that. Understandable. I mean, I think you just have to kind of go along with the fact that you just never know how your season is going to unfold, okay? And there were some positives from his start, and let's break it down. Let's break down Bobby Miller's start. Jeremy H. says, 2 throwaway games in 1 week, crazy. They went 4-2. That's pretty crazy. They have the best record in baseball. That's crazy. And look, they're not healthy. I mean, the fact that you've won 12, how many teams in Major League Baseball could win 12 of 16 games and be without their number 1 and number 2 starter in Tyler Glasnow and Yoshinobu Yamamoto? I mean, really, it's a credit to their depth, and they're kind of patching things together. So I definitely think that if I told you, too, that you have back-to-back starts with Walker Buehler and Bobby Miller, and I offered you the split on those starts, you would take that bet, considering how they've looked for the most part this season. When they're on, they look really good, but for the most part, it's been a struggle for them this year, and they've been grinding all season long. Martin says Bobby Miller just wanted to one-up Justin. Bobby Miller should have been traded from Bilal K. It's a hot take right there. Jay Bullet TC, don't even send Bobby down to AAA. Send him home to recover his knee. Better luck next year. Yeah, he's certainly been dealing with that knee injury all season long, and it's definitely a factor. Daniel Clark, I thought Miller was bad, kind of disappointing. Yeah, that's what makes it disappointing is the flashes that he showed. But let's break this one down. So bottom of the first inning, the Ward walk really set things the wrong way. That put the wheels in motion for a big inning for the Angels. He falls behind the count, 3-1. Ward fouls one off on the 5th pitch. Couple pitches later, he misses on that changeup high and outside, and that gives the Angels a base runner with no outs, and then he hits Neto by a pitch. So when Bobby Miller struggles, when Bobby Miller has those bad innings, you see walks, you see leadoff walks, you see him hitting batters. It's these unforced errors, this inability to execute, and I think that there's something physical going on with the knee and also something mental going on as well. So he needs to put it all together. You see him wearing it out there. You see the frustration in his eyes. You see him sweating, throwing the ball upside down, and just trying to get himself into it. He needs to take a deep breath. He needs to go pitch for pitch and try to execute. And the walk to Ward, I mean, you can't let one bad, poorly executed pitch and at bat that didn't go your way ruin your whole entire start. And it looked like Bobby Miller let that really impact. I mean, he's so talented. He definitely has it in there. I have no doubt about it that he has all the potential in the world. But, I mean, I think in this game particularly, you saw when you see bad Bob, you saw good Bobby, you saw bad Bobby in one start. And then after that, Chenal, he's singled to center, and then you look at where they're at after that one. I mean, Neto goes to second, Ward to third. So with the bases loaded, Anthony Rendon, 2-2 count, Mr. Hollywood Lifestyle, Mr. I Hate Baseball, he put a good swing on a pretty well-executed four-seam fastball in the corner there. So, I mean, it's not like he was leaving stuff out over the plate. It's not like he was leaving cement mixer sliders or fastballs right down Broadway. No, I mean, that was on the corner at 99, and you got to give Rendon credit there. I mean, maybe he doesn't hate baseball today, and he just wanted to go out there and have a pretty good hit, and he did just that. And Rendon's single scored Neto and Ward to put the Angels up 2-0 early on. And then the killer was Moniak. So next batter, Moniak, first pitch of the at-bat, four-seam fastball on the inside corner, and Moniak crushes it to right, 437 feet, a 3-run shot. And just like that, without recording it out, Bobby Miller and the Dodgers are trailing 5-0. And let's break down this at-bat here. Let's break down this sequence with the home run to Moniak. I mean, you see it right here. You see where Will Smith is set up in the zone, up on the outer half. Up on the outer half, where does the ball end up? Where is the ball going to? Was it up on the outer half, and it's on the inside corner, nitro zone action, and you know what we're going to see? A boom! A home run. So that is just a poorly executed fastball. So it's not out over the plate, and it is on the corner, but it's on the wrong corner. You don't want to throw heaters on the inner half in the nitro zone of opposing hitters that can crush it. And then two, they're looking to ambush fastballs in those counts. So the funny thing is, I think this really epitomizes Bobby Miller, the pitcher, that first inning. The home runs are an issue. The home runs have been an issue all season long for Bobby Miller. And it's an issue that he needs to correct. And the home runs have came off the heater. Last season, Bobby Miller, in 124 1/3 innings, he allowed 12 home runs in 22 starts in 124 1/3 innings. This season, heading into this start, in 44 2/3 innings, he allowed 12 home runs in 10 starts. So just as many home runs in 10 starts this year compared to 22 starts last year. And the home run ball, it hurt him once again. But you saw the bad Bobby, and then all of a sudden it's the good Bobby. Next batter, Logan Hoppe, You get the changeup. He strikes him out looking for the first out. Then Drury, he gets him swinging changeup on the corner. Then he strikes out Adele, another changeup. So it is a power changeup. I mean, he definitely has the ability to strike that pitch and be effective with it, and that was the promising sign. Had he emphasized that changeup earlier in this first inning, I think he has a better start. I think it goes 6 or 7 innings and he gives this team a chance to win. So I think you have to consider the attack plan, the sequencing as well. I did not love the sequencing and trying to just set up that fastball there. I mean, the Rendon one, I think that you just can't trust that fastball in that situation. Then he does start to settle down, but he gives another home run to Cavadas there in the second inning. He falls behind the count. So what happens in this at-bat? He's down 2 on the count. Then he fouls one off of the first strike. 4th pitch of the at-bat. He misses with a curveball. So when you're down in the count, opposing hitters are going to sit on fastballs. And his fastball does not have that natural run to it, does not have that natural movement to it. You know what I say about Dustin May? His fastball moves more than a military family. Bobby Miller has lived in the same house his whole life with his fastball right now, right? And I think for me, that's something that they need to find a way to manipulate a little bit. And then what does he do, though? Give him credit. I mean, he battled back after another home run, put the Angels up 6-0. He strikes out Ward swinging, another punch out via that changeup. He gets Neto swinging, another punch out via that changeup. So the changeup was nasty tonight. Nastier than sipping a Mountain Dew can that has some tobacco in it. I mean, just nasty. But the fastball didn't have it. And then Schnoll, he gets him to line to center. And then bottom of the third, he goes 1-2-3, add another strikeout. He avenged the home run to Moniak. He strikes him out with a curveball, gets him to chase down the zone. So he goes 1-2-3 there in the third. 4th inning, he goes 1-2-3, adds a pair of strikeouts. In that inning, he struck out Adele with the changeup down the zone. Then Cavadas, another strikeout via that changeup as well. So the changeup was a change in tonight. He definitely had the feel for that pitch, and it was working for him. And then bottom of the 5th inning, Taylor Ward at the plate, 1-1 count, and throws the curve, throws the slider. Didn't even see the changeup in this at-bat. 3rd pitch, he goes with the sinker, and he definitely left it a little up, and that's why he hit it out, and he just put a good swing on it. Got to give Ward some credit. Another home run, and that put the Angels up 7-0. So that's what really hurt you. The home run balls. He gave up 3 home runs tonight. So he's given up 15 home runs. 15 home runs for Bobby Miller in 11 starts this season. He gave up 12 home runs in 22 starts all of last year. The home run ball has been an issue, not keeping in the yard. The fastball effectiveness has been an issue as well. So I think the future for Bobby Miller this season, it's just continuing to make progress in what's working for you. He threw the changeup 27% of the time. That was more than any other pitch. Curveball 25% of the time. Four-seam fastball 25% of the time. Mixed in 11 sinkers and 9 sliders as well through 85 pitches. But, yeah, I mean, the spin was down on the fastball as well and just wasn't locating it, and he's just not fooling people with it as well. But let's hear what you have to say about Bobby Miller. Then we're going to talk about the Dodgers offense tonight that didn't do much either, and we'll talk about Yoshinobu Yamamoto and the plan for him. But welcome to the Dodgers Nation postgame show, the #1 Dodgers postgame show on YouTube. Comment giveaway down below. We're going to do our next big giveaway pretty soon. We're going to announce it on Friday, so definitely, to be eligible, comment down below. We got ADG, send Miller to the White Sox with Vargas. Oh, my boy Mickey Varg. My boy Mickey Varg. Eric Flores says 100-mile-per-hour meatballs. Nathan Borquez says, thank God I needed to do an essay. OMG. Hey, man. So at least you'll get a good grade on that essay. Nando, 390. Excited to see Bobby Miller next season when he's in another uniform once the Dodgers trade him. Javier Mora, Bobby will be a career minor leaguer. Wow, you guys are being rough on Bobby tonight. Julie Kleiman, what a sad game. They really let a loss that bad. Yeah, it definitely wasn't. It was probably one of the least memorable games for this Dodgers this season. Johnny Owens is Bobby pitching machine Miller. Come on now, that's a little much. That's a little much right there. Nando39 says Bobby Miller's terrible haircut made him suck. I like his hair. Come on, man. Bueller and Miller, the meatballs. Okay, you guys are going rough. D-Mac, you can't do the things you wanted to do. I love how you're trying to be positive about it. He's not a starter. From Greg. Hey, look, I mean, I wouldn't rule that out. I mean, I do focus on the positives because it's so difficult to. I mean, the truth of the matter is that this team was never relying on Bobby Miller to be a major factor for them, and thankfully for the Dodgers, Gavin Stone has been the real deal this season, and he's been one of the best rookie pitchers in baseball. But if this team was relying on Bobby Miller heavily in the postseason, then a lot of things went wrong, and that's still the case today. So it's really just about seeing what you have in him for the future. And look, there's been a lot of talk about his fastball and why it isn't effective. It's been a topic of conversation at the minor league level for years now. And yeah, look, so mentioned it. I mean, big league hitters, they can time up a bullet. Big league hitters, you're not going to fool them, especially if they're sitting on it and you're falling behind the count. But I just think that Bobby, he can improve things mentally as well. I mean, I just didn't like the body language. I did not like the body language when he fell down early in this game, down 5-0. That's something that I think can be improved upon, that can help his ability to just be overall more effective out there. And I think for him, I mean, could you see him as a closer? Could you see him as a reliever down the line? I mean, imagine that 99-mile-per-hour, 100-mile-per-hour fastball. If you can fine-tune the mechanics and be a little more consistent with it, and you pair that with a really nasty changeup and a curveball, right? I mean, bullpen guys are essentially two-pitch pitchers anyway, right? That's what they do. So the truth is, I mean, sure, is his stock taking a hit this season? It has. He's also dealt injuries, shoulder injury, knee injury. He's not at 100%. So, I mean, he dealt an abductor too. So he's been banged up all season long. So I think the key for Bobby Miller is just to get as close to 100% as you can in the offseason, get to 100%, and then you got to give another go with a different attack plan where you're really focusing on what works best for you, and that is that changeup. But, yeah, I mean, he still has a lot of talent for sure. I mean, as a bullpen guy, if the starter role doesn't work out, he could still be a wealthy man there for sure. Daniel Clark, D-Mac with the K-zone skills. You know, man, love me breaking down some ball. Appreciate you, Daniel Clark. Give you a little comment show for that one. Alex PPG, I think Bobby is tipping pitches along with lack of command. I don't think it's so much tipping. I mean, I do think it's the lack of command and just the lack of execution. He has to be pretty precise with that fastball, considering it is one of the straighter, flatter 98, 99 mile per hour fastballs that you'll see in the show. And I think with his release too, it's almost like it's like a slow release, slow move to the plate, where it almost gives the hitters a slight advantage. But Rebecca, Michelle, David, Bobby, don't panic and throw harder. Stay cool and throw with movement. Bilal K, all of us know that we will not win a postseason game with pitchers who put in first inning deficits like this. Remember last season with Kershaw? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it greatly impacts the offense because you step to the box, you're trailing in the game, and you definitely need to do a much better job at giving your offense a chance. Martin Troop, D-Mac, I think Rendon watches Dodgers Nation. Bruh. Ken Creighton, Kershaw finally gets his arm, shoulder healthy, and he goes down with the sore toe. Hang it up, Kersh. See you in Cooperstown. Don't give up on Kersh just yet. Okay, so some more on you guys. TBH, I don't mind if we sandbag to the rest of our arms for the postseason, but the offense needs to stay on point. Yeah, I mean, that's another thing, too. I mean, I'm not saying this team was checked out, but, I mean, you had a 6-game roadie, a big series against the Diamondbacks. We took 3 of 4 and essentially sewn up your chance of winning the division. The Dodgers have a 93.8% chance of winning the NL West at this point. A lot can change, but overall, the offense just didn't do much tonight. I mean, they didn't do much tonight. I mean, the strikeouts have been a little up of late. Tonight, though, Canning had 7 strikeouts. Strickland had 1, so 8 strikeouts. Nothing too much there. But they just weren't creating enough opportunities. They went 1 for 4 with runners in scoring position. They left 7 men on base. Tonight, the Dodgers, Shohei goes 0 for 4. Betts goes 1 for 2 with the walk. Kike goes 1 for 1. And then Gavin Lux goes 2 for 4. And then Tommy Edman, he goes 1 for 3. Andy Pages goes 1 for 2. So the Dodgers with 6 hits on the night for the Dodgers. And of those 6 hits, no extra base hits. So no doubles, triples, or home runs. And we know that this team, when they're winning, when they're at their best, if you want the dub, you got to slug. And then Griffin Canning goes 6 2/3, gives a 1 run on 4 hits, had 7 strikeouts and 4 walks. So they weren't able to capitalize on those walks as well. So you just got to flush this one. I mean, just not too many opportunities. I mean, top of the second, Lux had a 1-out single, and Edman and Muncy go down swinging. And top of the third, Rojas had a leadoff walk. Austin Barnes, he grounded into a double play. So just not anything really happening. I mean, a couple double play balls, too, just hurting the Dodgers' chances on offense, being rally killers. Betts reached on an infield single to first there to start off the 4th inning. Then Freddie Freeman grounded into a double play. So, yeah, just not taking advantage of opportunities. Top of the 5th, Muncy draws a 2-out walk. Rojas, he grounded to third. Top of the 6th, Betts drew a 2-out walk. Freeman struck out looking. So really not much doing outside of that 7th inning where Austin Barnes grounded out with runners on 2nd and 3rd that would have given Shohei Ohtani a chance to go up there and do damage and try to at least make this semi-interesting, but that was not the case. But you're going to forget about this game. You're going to flush this one. What you will not forget is the news about Yoshinobu Yamamoto. And that's what we're going to get into next. So the big news in Anaheim is Yoshinobu Yamamoto will start for the Dodgers next Tuesday, September 10th, against the Chicago Cubs at Dodger Stadium after making just 2 rehab starts. And the big takeaway here is that we could see him going up against Shota Imanaga, who was a part of a team no-hitter tonight for the Cubs. So, yeah, 2 great Japanese pitchers potentially going at it. The last time we saw Yoshinobu on the mound was on June 15th. He left the game early against the Phillies. And Dave Roberts said before the game today that his start against the Yankees was what he thought was the best start of the year for the Dodgers. We consider the circumstances. Well, actually, I think it was the Royals. The Royals was the last time we saw him. That was on June 15th. So the last time we saw Yoshinobu was June 15th against the Royals. He went 2 innings, had a strikeout and a walk. The velo was down. He left the game early. Start before that, though, where he was pumping gas, hit 97, 98. In the Dodgers' 2-1 extra innings win over the Yankees in the Bronx, he went 7 innings. And Dave Roberts said today before the game that was definitely, possibly the Dodgers' best start this season from any of their starting pitchers. And then, so he last pitched for the Dodgers on June 15th against the Royals. They placed him on the injured list with a right rotator cuff strain. And he has been out for almost 2.5 months. We haven't seen him for a while. He ultimately made 2 rehab starts for AAA Oklahoma City. He pitched 2 innings in each game. And yesterday he was supposed to go 3 innings, but he had that 17-pitch at bat, and that led to 53 pitches, and that landed up in a walk too. So he didn't go those 3 innings, but still, they saw what they needed to see. With Yamamoto. He was still nasty, too. You saw strikeouts. You saw the velocity at over 95. He averaged 95.3 on the fastball, which is where he was before he went down with the injury. And today, Dave Roberts told reporters, obviously, that at-bat took a long time to get through, so he only got through 2 innings, but the plan is for him to join us on Tuesday. The pitch count got up to 53 pitches. We didn't get the ups that we wanted, but with the off day coming on Thursday, September 12th, we'll have the coverage we need. So, like I said earlier in the show, the Dodgers, they're kicking off a stretch on Friday against the Guardians where they play 16 games in 17 days. And the other news that Dave gave us today was that Landon Knack will get the ball in the Dodgers series opener against the Guardians. So the Knack attack will be back. He'll get the start for the Dodgers. So that definitely helps them from the depth standpoint. Going out there, getting a guy that you can trust. It's going to be a big series. And the Guardians have one of the best records in baseball. They're one of the best teams in the American League this season. And we know that the Dodgers this season, they like to give guys extra rest. They don't like giving guys traditional rest. And we've only seen last 73 games, the only time we've seen a Dodgers starter go on 4 days rest, it was Gavin Stone on August 7th. They've only gone on 4 days rest 6 times for the entire year. So rarely happens. And I think when you look at this rotation where they're at right now, they're in a good spot to get some coverage because Yamamoto's going to go Tuesday, and you're probably thinking to yourself, well, wait a minute. If he goes 3 innings, if he goes 4 innings, which Dave Roberts said today that if he's efficient, he could see him going 4 innings. Well, hey, you still have 3 innings, and that's much better than having an opener where it's a straight-up bullpen game or something like that. So you get the multiple benefits there. You get 1, Yamamoto gets to ramp up at the big league level, and 2, you cover more innings, and then ultimately it reduces the burden on the already taxed bullpen. So, yeah, you 6 starters, 8 relievers. You have the expanded roster for the September call-up. So I think they're going to be just fine as long as you don't have any blow-ups. And the guys that are having blow-ups, if they do have them, like Bobby Miller, you got to be able to wear it. You got to be able to wear it. But, I mean, look at the other pitchers on the IL, Tyler Glasnow, Clayton Kershaw. They're both on the IL. They optioned Ben Kasparius. He's not eligible to come back until September 16th. He optioned Justin Robleski. He's not eligible to come back until September 17th unless someone goes down and you want to replace a player that's heading to the IL. There is that option if it presents itself, barring an injury. But I think that the number one takeaway here is he can potentially make 4 starts. 4 starts before October. And I think that's what he needed. I think Glasnow, I feel a little more comfortable about him just getting a couple starts. Yamamoto, I want to see him get a good chunk. And it's going to feel kind of very spring training-ish for Yamamoto because of where he's at in his season and just how much time he's missed. Remember, he's missed almost 2.5 months with that rotator cuff injury. And on the season, he's pitched 74 innings at a 2.92 ERA. So as many starts as he can get, the better. You want him to ramp up. You want him to get comfortable. And Dave Roberts said, I think the stuff will be there. I'm not sure about how the command is going to be. But if we can log 4 starts and build up volume, we'll be ready to go beyond that. So there you go. Yoshinobu Yamamoto. I just kind of wish we didn't have that Omar Narvaez at bat where he fouled off 11 pitches against Yamamoto yesterday that prevented him from going 3 innings like he should have. He drew that 17-pitch walk. I would have liked to see him just have a little more thorough of a rehab start, but good news on the starting pitcher front. And I said it yesterday, and I'll say it one more time. This is going to be potentially the best starting rotation the Dodgers have had in the postseason in a long, long time. I mean, honestly, possibly ever, if all these guys pitch to their capabilities. We got Bobby will be on vacation in October. Come on now. We got Ohtani was a total no-show for the series. Tony Diaz, I mean, he didn't have a great game tonight. Yesterday, he did have the triple, and that led to a run, and you don't score that run unless Mookie gets the hit. Mookie had 4 RBIs. I mean, the player of the series was Marcus Lynn Betts. But, yeah, Shohei Ohtani, he's doing just fine. He's played a lot of games this season. I said it on Dodgers Dugout Live is that, I mean, you're chasing 50-50. I don't want to see him wear himself out to try to get that because the most important thing for him is to carry this team and put them on his back when it matters most in October. But I still think all in all, I mean, you look at the road trip that he had. I mean, he went in the Friday game against the Angels, he went 2 for 4 with a double and a home run. Saturday game, he goes 1 for 5 with a home run. And then the Sunday game goes 0 for 4. And then the Monday game on Labor Day, he goes 2 for 4 with 2 walks. And then yesterday he went 1 for 4 with a triple. So, I mean, he still had a really, really good road tripping, just didn't have his best finale against his former team. So I'm not worried about Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani is doing just fine. And yeah, he's the guy who used to work for the Angels, like the scoreboard said. We got T. I feel like the bigger story was more the lack of hits. That's from T. Yeah, I mean, like I said at the top of the show, just kind of one of those games. I mean, you ground to multiple double plays. You can't take advantage, and you can't really create that big inning. No extra base hits. So, yeah, I mean, not a good night for the offense. Definitely not a good night for the Dodgers bats. There's no doubt about that. Richard Flores, Bobby Miller, 2 words, pizza delivery. Man, guys, I'm here sticking up for Bobby. I really am. I still believe in him, and I still think that he can help a team. I definitely can. He's still very young. The changeup's nasty. The curveball's nasty. You want to better utilize that fastball. And then, like I said, worst case scenario for Bobby Miller is he could be a bullpen piece at some point if he's a failed starter. So if he was throwing 92, 93 and he was just nothing there, I'd be like, okay, fine, I don't care. But, I mean, you don't find a lot of guys that can throw like he can and do what he can do with the pill. And overall, tonight, I mean, I'm telling you, the pitch sequencing early on, I didn't love it. Especially the way that hard stuff was playing. I didn't love the pitch sequencing. Should have relied a little more heavily on the changeup and the curveball early on. But, yeah, give him some credit. I mean, he did bounce back, and anytime you can get 8 strikeouts in 5 innings, that's pretty solid. He ends up getting 11 swings and misses, but you got to find a way to fix that fastball. You got to find a way to mask it or command it or have it play, because I mean, if you can't have a fastball at this level, he's not going to go far, and he's got to find some more consistency with it and find out why it's not working the way he wants it to work. Savannah Bananas, we got Pedro De Hoyos. Dodgers really stressed me out tonight, and I wasn't feeling it. I blame them for my loss in the Keno. All the haters were out tonight. Okay, we got J-Kid 323. Dodgers don't have a pitching game plan. Angels hit fastballs hard, and yet he throws fastballs and gets smashed. Does anybody really know why Alan Sliwa quit? That's from David Sabatini. Okay. Shout out to Alan Sliwa. Kenny Chung. D-Mac, please don't. Okay. Kenny Chung, Ohtani, Muncy, and Teo just swinging out of their shoes. Ugly strikeouts. Yeah, the at-bat quality was not pretty tonight. And like I said, I'm not going to put too much stock in this one. Dougie, can we talk about how awful Barnsley's arm is? His throw to second is the worst I've ever seen from Jay Bullitt. Definitely not his strong suit for sure. Got to remember, he is a backup catcher, and the guy they do have is their franchise catcher, has one of the best arms and pop times. It's not great when it comes to blocking balls, but still, he's been one of the best one of the best in the league in that department. Alex Renteria, Dodgers were expanding the strike zone, helping out that 4-12, 5+ ERA Angel pitcher. Yeah, I mean, that's the frustrating thing, too. I mean, that's a great point, is that, I mean, look, this was their World Series, and you got a pitcher from Southern California, a guy who went to UCLA. I mean, he has a 5.02 ERA on the season, and they made him look like a Cy Young candidate. And I think if you're the Dodgers, look, I know it's the dog days of September. You can't win them all, but I just didn't like the effort. I really didn't. I did not like the effort by the Dodgers offense tonight. I really, really didn't. I just think that you want to respect the game. You want to make sure you're going out there and giving it your best effort, and you're going to have your occasional clunker, but at the end of the day, there's no excuse for this team scoring just 1 run and getting blown out 10-1. The offense didn't show up. I mean, were they at Disneyland? I mean, come on now. They did not show up tonight, and that to me was kind of the big concern. And I mean, bottom of the 6th inning, you're already making wholesale changes down 7-0. You're giving Mookie extra rest, and Pajes was the guy who goes into right field for Mookie, and he was able to get a hit. But yeah, I mean, look, I just don't want to see these displays, especially up in the upcoming series for sure. We got Matt Leiter says Yoshi got hurt when he extended himself against the Yankees. Do you really believe that? I mean, we talked to Yamamoto about that, and he doesn't. I mean, what is he going to say, right? He's not going to say, yeah, it's because I did that. But he doesn't feel like that's the reason why. But since you brought it up, let's take a look at it. Because, yeah, the adrenaline was pumping. It's Friday night. It's the Bronx. It's the Dodgers. It's the Yankees. It was a showdown. And you look at his start and how he performed. And the velocity on that four-seam fastball was up 1.5 miles per hour. He averaged 97 on the heater that night. He topped out at 98.4 miles per hour. The spin was up. The velo was up. The slider velo, the splitter velo, everything was up. And look, I mean, if you're a pitcher from Japan, I mean, it's the Yankees, man. It's New York City. I mean, it's a franchise that wanted him badly. So I like the dog in him. I like his ability to go out there and kind of take it up a notch. But, yeah, I mean, you're talking about when a guy's averaging 95.5, pumping up to 98.4, it could have triggered it a little bit. But I think that the silver lining on this, the positive spin on this is I personally think that when you consider the fact that the Dodgers still have the best record in baseball, that this ultimately could help them, that this could fall in their favor in the sense that he was a rookie pitcher by rookie standards, first time pitching in the show. I mean, I think the best case scenario is that he's ready to empty the tank in the postseason and that he's not worn down and out of gas and trying to find it every single start. No, I mean, that is a mid-season extended break that I think is going to really help this team because you also give less at-bats to the opposing hitters that have less tape on him, less at-bats and experience against him, and I'm hoping that Yamamoto takes the world by storm. I really do. And the Shota Imanaga-Yamamoto comparisons, I wouldn't even think twice about it, even at their contracts. Yamamoto is the better pitcher 7 days a week and twice on Sundays. Okay? He's a 3-time Cy Moore winner, 3-time Triple Crown winner in the NPB. He is not even Yamamoto isn't in Shota isn't in Yamamoto's tier. Not Yamamoto's in S tier, man. Joseph Garcia, how did the offense get shut out by one of the worst teams in baseball? We talked about that. We got Martin Troop, D-Mac. Do you think Yamamoto can handle a full season in the rotation, 160 to 200 innings? I will say to that, Martin, look, he's under contract for 12 years, and he's going to be. I mean, he's going to be healthy every single year for 12 years and pitch 160 to 200 innings every single year? I think the answer is no. But look, I mean, this is someone that in Game 6 of the Japanese series, the Japan series, he threw 138 pitches and pitched a complete game and had 14 strikeouts. So he has gone deep into games. He's gone deep into seasons. So I don't see why not. I think that that's why a 6-man rotation next season when Ohtani comes back and Shohei Ohtani is used to a 6-man rotation. Japanese pitchers are used to pitching once a week. People I talk to that are very familiar with the ins and outs of Japanese pitchers, scouts, and coaches. One thing that I've heard from several of them is one of the biggest keys to Yamamoto, make sure he sticks to a Japanese pitching schedule, at least at the beginning, so that way he's not worn down. So I certainly think he can. I absolutely think he can. Adrian will bounce back, nothing to worry about. And also, too, in Major League Baseball these days, I mean, you got like 2-3 guys throwing 200 innings per year, right? It rarely happens these days. Most important thing is that you build depth, you cover innings during a grueling 162-game season, and then when the postseason rolls around, you're at your best. And I think that is the hope for Mr. Yamamoto. That definitely has to be the hope. We'll bounce back. Nothing to worry about from Adrian Salazar. Watch Dave Roberts start Kershaw in the postseason. Let me tell you that's not his decision. That is not his decision. A $1.99 super chat from Cesar says, Bobby Lynn just gave up another homer. Oh, come on now. Why gotta do my boy dirty like that? Steven Chavez, Dodgers known for fixing pitchers, not anymore. We are known for breaking pitchers now. I disagree with that. I mean, I think, look at Kopech. Michael Kopech is the latest example of someone who's benefited from being with the Dodgers. Evan Phillips didn't have any success, and Anthony Bonda didn't have any success before coming to this organization, and they've certainly turned those two guys around. I think when you look at the starting pitchers, it's not necessarily what they do as far as the game playing and attack mode. It's just keeping guys healthy. I have Rob Hill tomorrow on the show. Rob Hill is going to be joining me on Dodgers Dugout Live, and Rob Hill is one of the best minds, one of the best young minds when it comes to evaluating pitchers. He's the Dodgers director of pitching, and he's also works for Driveline as their coordinator of in-game development. And we'll ask him these questions. And what he makes of the injuries and the development as well. Richard Flores says, Padres hitting in the 10th, 1 out. Let's go, Tigers. Yeah, give me an update on the Padres. We got Barnes is an automatic out. What up, Kenny Chung? Keep it moving. Of course, the Padres won. They are hungry, and there's no quitting them, as bad as I hate to say. Yeah, 4.5 games back. And so the Padres are a team that's hungry, and there's no denying that. So clearly the Padres, let's see, the Padres ultimately pulled that one out in extra innings. They did. The Padres win by a final score of 6-5. The Friars get the win in the bottom of the 10th. Had they do it, of course, Mr. Ringworm, Fernando Tatis Jr., he singled to left. That scored Merrill to win the game. So there you go. Padres win. You look at where the division lead sits right now. They get their 80th win of the season, I believe. And they be their 80th win of the season, and they're down 4.5 games. So there you go. Hey, keep the Dodgers relevant. I mean, keep playing meaningful baseball. I don't want this team to get comfortable. It's the last thing I want to see. I do not want to see this team get comfortable. We got John Fernandez. Dodgers need to wake up. Tatis walked it off. A couple more here, guys. Let's go, Yama. We got Brandon, Martin Troop. That was Yamamoto's dream, to beat the Yankees in a Dodgers uniform. We just need for him to do it in the Fall Classic. Top of the show. Would that be electric? 40-40 helmet fries in full effect. IB Strogan, what's up, my man? But yep, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of the Dodgers Nation post-game show. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. Richard Flores says, when all else fails, go on an in-and-out run. Double-double fixes everything. That's the ultimate slump buster. Double-double, animal style, chopped chilies, animal style fries, DC Diet Coke. What's your guys' in-and-out order? What's your in-and-out order? The chopped chilies are so fire. Adds a little kick to it. Always got to go double-double. We got, let me know down below, though. Thanks for that, Jay Bull. You're the man. Let's go tacos, foo. Thanks, DMAC and Torta Nation. Rebecca, come on down. Okay, Brandon gets a 4x4 animal-style fries. That's fire right there. Kenny Chung gets the fries well done. That is a good move. Jorge's pushing for a King Taco run. D-Mac, I'm going to treat myself to carne asada fries later. You know that's my favorite. You know that's my thing. Claudia 11 says strawberry shake animal-style fries. That strawberry shake just really hits, especially if it's like late night. That late-night strawberry shake with the fries. You put the fries in the shake. It's unbelievable. Man, you guys going 4x4, man. The protein, I'll admit, afternoons, I go protein style. Afternoons, always protein style. Can get a little messy, but that's what I rock with in the afternoons. If it's late night, after a couple adult beverages, right? A couple shoeies, then I got to get that bun for sure. Heck yeah, strawberry shake is it. The Flying Dutchman from Cesar. Fat Burger is better than In-N-Out. Christopher Navarro, that's a hot take, and I don't think it's a valid one. Fat Burger, I've been to it a couple times. Only thing I like about Fat Burger is that the Notorious B.I.G. references it in the song Going Back to Cali. But other than that, there's no comparison. There's no comparison. Rosemary's getting hungry. L.A. says horchata and tacos. Okay, seems like a 6x6. Hepatitis, see you later, bro. Yeah, 6x6. You're going crazy, my man. You're going crazy. For sure. You got to respect that. But, okay, guys, let's all go eat our feelings because the Dodgers got blown out. But that is going to do it. The Dodgers, they lose. They split the series. The 2-game set with the Angels, they lose tonight by a final score of 10-1. Record drops to 84-56. 4.5 games up of the San Diego Padres. Hey, I want to say, got to still be playing solid baseball. 16 games in 17 days coming up with the Friday series against the Guardians. But we got Best Hibachi hits late night 2 from KB. Oh, that's a fire take. Absolutely. Absolutely. Richard Flores says nothing says bathroom run like Tommy's at 1 a.m. Okay, guys, we are falling off the rack. Keith says Ice Cube references. Absolutely. But that's going to do it, guys. Thank you so much for joining us on the Dodgers Nation post-game show. BC, absolutely. But there's no doubt about it, guys. The Dodgers, this is the home stretch. This is the stretch run before it gets really real. So buckle up. It's going to be a wild ride down the finish. It's going to be a wild ride into the postseason. And you want to subscribe to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. Delirium points out it's another World Series preview this week, and absolutely could be just that. But that's going to do it, guys. My name is Doug McKain. Follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. See you guys on Friday for the post-game show, but we'll be back tomorrow with another live show. Dodgers Dugout Live. But thanks again, guys. Subscribe to the channel, and remember, nothing brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. And until next time, think blue.